So one of the things that you're going to want to do, probably right at the start when you read in your data, is to do some basic stats. So these are going to be things like range or min and max or mean or standard deviation, things like that, to get an idea of what your data look like. Are there values that are out of range? Is my distribution what I think it is? Stuff like that. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make sure our data is read in and show you just some of what that might look like. And so let's say that we wanted to know the mean horsepower of our data. So what we'll do, we can't just type horsepower, I almost did that, is first we have to say, hey, look at this data frame, and then specifically we would like to look at horsepower. And when we run that, we can see down here is our output that the mean horsepower for this particular data set is 146.69 if we're rounding. Maybe we needed to know what the range was because we only wanted to include above or below certain horsepowers. And so we could use the range function and see that there's a low of 52 and a high of 335. So that's looking at that. So if, for example, we were running a study and we only wanted to include cars that had at least 100 horsepower, we would know that this particular data set had some values out of our specified range, and we would need to do something about that. If we just wanted to know the lower end of that range, we could run a min function, so minimum, df, and we see, oh, hey, yes, that is 52, just like the range said. And then the same thing for the maximum, so the other end of that, and 335, so no surprises there. So you can run, a lot of those just independently by themselves. Something else that is useful to kind of just grab some summary statistics is the summary function. And you feed it the entire data frame and it spits out this. And so for everything, it spits out a minimum, a first quartile, a median, a mean, a third quartile, and a max. And so we can see across here, this is what it is. But if you remember, for some of these, even though they're numbers, that might not quite be appropriate. So cylinder, it's 4, 6, and 8, right? And so having that displayed thusly might not quite be the most appropriate way to do it, because that's more of a categorical variable than a continuous variable. So that's another argument for make sure you know your data. But those are some very basic summary statistics that you can run on your data to start getting a look at it and determining if it's shaped and ranged, etc., the way that you expect it to be.